because my mom and I own Giggle, and I'll never forget like the conversation when we were sitting there, like many glasses of wine to the wind, and we're like, yeah, we're gonna create an app for women to connect. If we knew then what we knew now, I'd still do it, but gosh, it would have been nice to know.
Oh
Like,
my gosh. So what was that process like for you? Did you bootstrap it, like pay for everything yourself? Did you get funding?
we got investors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we did a family and friends investment round,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we were able basically to get to where we are now. We wanted to two things. One, like obviously, I like own it. I want to own the company. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
someone else to give it. And especially in the startup world, the majority of VCs and angel investors are men. And so, I mean, you walk into any room going, oh, so it's an app for women.
Mm.
Like there's a few I've talked to, and they're like, do women need something to connect? Would women talk to each other? I'm like, what planet are you? What? I'm like, or like, there's been situations where I've said, I don't want to have to explain or quantify misogyny or abuse that women receive online to anybody. I'm not interested in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to basically bring people that we know in along the journey, like lots of women that we know, in fact. And then, yeah, so I mean, yeah, I do everything. Like, when you're at the beginning stages of a startup, you do everything that needs to be done that I can physically do. Like, the only thing I don't do is I don't code, for
Mm-hmm.
example.
Which is like the most expensive part though, right? Whew. You can rack up some bills.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why, like, sometimes when some people will go after me on Twitter or things, and I'm like, do you think this is a hobby?
Mm-mm.
No, like, this is a proper company with serious investment, and I have people to answer to. And to sometimes random Twitter person, I'm not going to be answering your questions
Mm-hmm.
that are just
Yeah.
too complicated.
When you reached out, I was actually kind of surprised that like you're getting like some shit for this. Cause I was like, that just seems like a very needed space, right? Like men have their space, women have their space, and now you're kind of like digitizing that by
Yeah.
putting it into an app. I feel like that's normal. And then I was like going through your Twitter and I was like, oh dang, like she's really getting it. And I saw you reposting like death threats and it was really blowing my mind. So when you were first starting this and you were approaching like VCs or angel investors, did anyone like see this coming? Like, did anyone like kind of warn you where you were a little ignorant to the the wave of criticism you were going to get?
No, okay, no, I always knew that there was going to be criticism and huge negative response to it. I didn't anticipate where the negative response was going to come from. I
Mm,
got that wrong. Yeah. Um, it's been quite amazing actually. So I thought that it would be people, I thought it would be mainly just men, and they would be conservative.
hmm.
No, liberal men. Liberal men are the ones who have a problem with it.
So why did you assume that it was going to be conservative men?
I assumed it, I suppose, because I was thinking in that sort of Fox News, Tucker Carlson, tinfoil hat wearing world where it would be like, oh, this is sort of a privilege that women have, or this is ridiculous. Why do women need this? No, sort of the more I like say center conservative leaning people. I'm sure there's been some white supremacists that have come after me, but I don't engage with them in the market. But the just yeah, the um more conservative and lots of dads are very, very supportive of it. Lots of dads and husbands. Um, but say men on the left who I've say followed on Twitter, like especially like journalists, comedians, who I'd followed for years. And before last year, I'd never tweeted before. I always stayed away from it. I was too scared
Hmm.
because it was just such a cesspool. I only started tweeting because I had to respond to just crazy lies that were being said about Giggle. And then I got sort of, now I'm in this world of having to respond to them all the time. But yeah, there were these guys that have come after me calling me a TERF, a transphobe, and I'm like, I really respected you. And it makes you change or question everything that they've said. You're now looking at through this prism of, okay, I think that you have a misogyny issue. Because I do think that there are a lot, well, I don't think, I know there are a lot of guys out there who are, they themselves would call themselves woke and progressive. A lot of them have Black Lives Matter in their bios,
Mm-hmm.
but they would have no problem telling a woman and a Black woman that she is a transphobe or a TERF because she understands biological reality or advocates for women's rights, and just say
Mm-hmm.
really the worst kinds of things.